How to save money on groceries easy without coupons. I am a normal frugal shopper who used to spend way too much while I was grocery shopping. I live in New York City, so I know what expensive grocery shopping is, and I've done it for years by accident, and I had to learn my ways from figuring out, okay, why is this so expensive? Why am I spending so much? And really examining my spending habits and working on it. I've learned all these tips and I'm so excited to share them with you. If you enjoy it, please click that like button because the YouTube algorithm gets really happy when that happens and we want to keep it happy. So let's get into the 25 tips now. My number one tip is to read the price tag based on unit or weight. If it's by ounces or pounds, you can oftentimes compare two very similar looking products where maybe one of them you're paying for the big brand that has a bigger package, but it's the exact same amount of whatever unit that is. And you can really compare and get into the nitty-gritty of how much you can save if you realize that certain brands are using more plastic and packaging, which is not good in any way, but don't pay for that. Pay for more product, don't pay for more packaging. So keep an eye on this really critical number one step. If you just watch this and you just watch until the first step, you will already save so much money. Number two, before you leave your home, don't forget to check your pantry and your fridge to see what you have so you're not overbuying because you think, oh, do I have that? And then you buy something twice. Instead, you can also take a photo of your pantry and your fridge and then reference that to get a general sense of what you have. Number three, don't go hungry. Eat before you go grocery shopping. It is something that I've accidentally done, and every single time I forget to eat, I get hungry, I get hangry, I end up in the exotic cheeses, and no one needs really crazy, exotic, more expensive cheeses. That's just it's not in the budget. I'm so sorry. Number four, go with a shopping list. I jot it down in my phone so I never forget a slip of paper. The list will guide you away from impulse buys, but at the same time, be willing to be flexible. If there is something that's totally marked down, maybe you can replace one of the meals that you originally planned with whatever that new thing is so you can get the best deals. Number five, divide your budget by week, not by month. I used to always think, oh, by month, and you keep estimating and then you completely forget where you are in your budget. But if you actually divide it, okay, if I want to spend this much per month, divide that by the 4 weeks, and then you say, this week I can only spend this much, I find myself really much more self-controlled on how I budget it and how I actually use this time at the grocery store. Number six, limit shopping trips. If you only go once per week, you will actually see that you are spending less. If you try to just say, oh, I'll just go one more time, 2 times this week, whatever, then you will clearly go out of your budget and it'll be so easy to impulse buy and just buy so much more that you don't need. So if you can limit the amount of trips you take, you will definitely see the benefit in your wallet. Number seven, be open to trying new stores. Are you just going to that grocery store because it's the closest? Have you even shopped at the other ones and tried other options? I completely admit it, I've done this multiple times. The most convenient grocery store that was closest to wherever I lived was the one that I oftentimes went to. And this happened where right near an apartment was a fancy health food store. After way too long, I finally went to another grocery store that was a 10-minute walk the other direction, and it was so much better. I saved way more money. So definitely shop around for all the different options. Make sure that you're not just going to a grocery store because of the convenience of the location. Try to go a little bit out of your way if you think you will be able to save a little bit more money. Number eight, shop the perimeter of the store first. That's actually where they put a lot of the essentials, and they'll put something you need on the total opposite end of the store so that you have to go past a number of non-essential aisles and you think, oh, maybe I'll get whatever. And also beware of the candy in front of the register. I have fallen many a time to it, but just be aware and think, okay, what do I really need? And then try to stick to that. Number nine, for the freshest products, reach in the back, go above eye level, below it. Just feel free to reach all around to find where the deals are because they are never going to be right in front of you at eye level. Number 10, double check that eggs are not cracked and that fruit is not bruised so that you get the best value for your money. 11, double check the expiration date. Also, make sure you're aware of the difference between the sell by date and the expiration or use by date, because the sell by date is actually going to give you a couple extra days, assuming that if they sell it and you buy it that day, you'll have a few more days to actually cook it and prepare it. So keep that in mind. If you see a sell by date, it's the same date. Don't freak out, you have a couple more days. 12, avoid shopping produce when it's not as good and more expensive. Here I'm going to overlay a whole chart that will tell you the best times to buy what. 13, avoid things that are pre-cut. I used to love getting these very specific pre-cut veggies or fruit, whatever it might be. I didn't realize how much money I was accidentally wasting. It's convenient, yes, but for the most part you probably don't need it, and it will actually stay fresher if you get the item before it's cut and everything like that. You will save money, it'll stay fresher, and even sometimes like an apple, they'll add more preservatives so that it doesn't oxidize or change color. So you don't want the chemicals. Just don't get the pre-cut stuff. Number 14, when possible, buy in bulk. If you need to get 2 small units of something, try and find 1 bigger unit of both. But keep in mind my rule number 1, which is that you gotta check how much it costs per ounce, because sometimes bulk is not always cheaper. So just keep making sure that you're checking what is the cost per unit or per weight. 15, when to go. Plan when you go strategically. Avoid the first of the month when it's often busiest, when food stamps refill and people want to spend their most recent check. Shop weekday mornings for middle of the week specials. If you go grocery shopping after work or weekends, that is when it's busiest with less inventory and less deals. 16, skip the name brands. Rumor has it that these brands are oftentimes the exact same product as the one next to it. They come from the same factory, possibly, but they're just slapping a different label on there. So be mindful. There are certain brands that you might prefer. That's totally fine. Maybe certain things taste a certain way that you are really familiar with, but be willing to try other brands. Be willing to check what is the real cost per weight or per unit. And if another brand is so much more affordable, it's definitely worth it for certain things that you might not even notice the difference between the 2 products with the brand. 17, read deal fine print. If it says you have to buy 5 in order to get a certain price, oftentimes you can just buy 1 and not overbuy and get that same per unit price. So just double check. 18, meat markdowns. You might notice some meat, it has stickers that says manager special. Other things might also have this throughout the store. I highly recommend taking advantage of these deals because they're significantly discounted, sometimes more than half off. They're not bad, don't worry, they can't sell you something bad, but it's something that I've taken advantage of these deals many times, and you will find that maybe it's expiring a little bit sooner, and that just means that you have to cook it, you know, before that date. 19, eat less meat. This is one of the most expensive things at the grocery store, so it really can add up if you're including it in every single meal. One thing that I use as an alternative is I'm recently obsessed with tofu in the past few years. I've been creatively cooking tofu with all sorts of different seasonings and sauces and veggies and noodles. I love tofu so much. So it is a great source of protein and an alternative if you do want to save a little bit more money. 20, spices. It's so easy to overpay for spices. Oftentimes I actually used to do this, and I used to pay for the taco seasoning packets, which is 1 serving. And when I finally switched over to getting much bigger shakers of seasoning and things like that, I saw a drastic, change of how much I'm saving because I was being more efficient about how I bought my spices. 21, clearance section. Ask someone at the grocery store where their clearance section is. If you know where to look, you can find some really amazing deals. 22, avoid bottled water. Instead of buying heavy bottled water, which is not good for you, the environment, the whole situation is not ideal, you would totally save so much money by actually just getting a reusable water bottle, maybe a filter for your water, your tap water, and you will see so many savings here, and you don't have to carry heavy things and contribute to the plastic waste. It's just a win-win-win all across. 23, bring reusable grocery bags to reduce waste, and depending on where, to also avoid paying for each grocery bag, which can totally add up. 24, don't use a huge shopping cart. I bring my reusable bags to the grocery store, and it's really easy for me to fill those up while I'm shopping and then use them at the register because I know that that will fit in my fridge and I will not overbuy in a huge shopping cart. Research shows that when the shopping cart size was doubled, shoppers bought 40% more products than usual. 25, watch the register. Do this for 2 reasons. 1, to see if there are any errors, like if they ring something up twice, or if maybe it's ringing up at a higher price, not a sale price. And then 2, to make sure that you are staying within your budget. If, for example, I see something that is crazy price that I thought it was one price, it's a different price, I'll say, oh, can we get rid of this $20 cheese? Thank you so much for watching. What grocery tips and hacks did I miss? Please comment down below your favorites. Also, if you have any other suggestions for more, money related saving tips, things like that, videos you'd like to see next, I'm definitely totally open to that. Please comment down below what videos you want to see next, and click that like button, subscribe button if you haven't already. Keep that YouTube algorithm happy. We know it likes to be happy. And then I will see you in the next video. Ciao for now. There are so many tips and hacks in here that will hopefully get your grocery bill down to like 0.5%. What the 0.5%? What does that even mean? Okay, I'm gonna do that again. Shoot. Feel free to get flexible and that makes no sense. I don't know what I'm doing. Lastly, watch the register. Do this for two reasons. Also, you might find that I have forgotten what my line is already because I'm silly.